Hi, we are from D1M3P4 and today we would like to explain about DNA recombinant. Meaning of DNA recombinant is a method in which DNA molecule made in vitro with segments from different sources or by combining genes from different organisms. These are the tools for recombinant DNA. The first one is target DNA. The second one is restriction enzyme. The third one is DNA cloning vector. Fourth, host cell. And the last one is modifying enzyme. Target DNA. Target DNA is actually a sequence of DNA containing gene of interest.
Second, restriction enzyme. Enzyme which cut DNA molecules at a restriction site and produce short restriction fragments. There are two types of cut in restriction enzyme. First is sticky end. For sticky end. The example of restriction enzyme for sticky end are first EcoR1, and the second one is H1. For the second types of cut is blunt end. Example of restriction enzyme for blunt end is SMA1.
The third tool of recombinant DNA is DNA cloning vector. It is a DNA molecule which can carry foreign DNA fragment into a cell and replicate in that cells. The characteristics are able to accept foreign DNA. Number 2, able to replicate freely in the host cell. Number 3, possess selectable genetic marker. The examples of DNA cloning vector are plasmid, bacteriophage, cosmid, and YAC.
For host cell is a cell which receives a recombinant DNA and allows the replication of recombinant DNA. The characteristic for host cell are: the first one is to able to receive recombinant DNA through transformation process. Number 2, it able to maintain the structure of recombinant DNA. Number 3, it able to amplify the gene.
The last tool for recombinant DNA is modifying enzyme. DNA ligase join the foreign DNA fragments containing gene of interest and bacterial plasmid, catalyzing the formation of phosphodiester bond to form recombinant DNA. Its characteristics are able to receive recombinant DNA throughout transformation process. Next, able to maintain the structure of recombinant DNA, and the last one is able to amplify the gene product from the recombinant DNA.
Next is the steps in gene cloning. There are 5 steps in gene cloning. The first one is isolation of gene. Second one is cleave or cut. The third one is insertion. The fourth one, transformation and amplification. And last but not least, screening. Isolation of gene. The plasmid from bacterial cell is isolated, and then gene of interest is isolated from DNA of donor cell. How to isolate the plasmid from its bacteria? As for example, we took E. coli as the bacteria, and from the bacteria, we isolate its plasmid out. Okay. The pink one is gene of interest. The gene of interest, we took it out from the DNA of the donor cell.
Second is cleave. DNA donor and plasmid bacteria is cleaved using compatible restriction enzyme.
The third step is insertion. DNA fragment is inserted into a plasmid. join together by DNA ligase and form recombinant DNA. This glue represents DNA ligase, which used to stick plasmid and gene of interest. This is the result when the plasmid and gene of interest are joined together by DNA ligase.
For transformation and amplification, the recombinant DNA inserted into the bacteria through transformation process. For example, the bacteria of E. coli, the recombinant DNA will be inserted into the bacteria through transformation process. And as the bacteria reproduce, the recombinant DNA also replicate.
Screening to identify bacteria clone containing recombinant DNA. Blue-white screening is done.
Firstly, we plate the bacteria that has recombinant DNA into a plate that has X-gal and antibiotic ampicillin. Next, for bacteria who does not have any resistance for antibiotic ampicillin will not grow, vice versa to the bacteria who has the resistance in antibiotic ampicillin.
Colonies with recombinant plasmid cannot produce beta-galactosidase and cannot hydrolyze X-gal.
For screening process, it is done by using blue-white screening technique. It is to identify bacteria that carries the recombinant DNA.
That's why we choose white colonies, because it contains recombinant DNA.
Marsha, bring me the tomatoes.
Boss, here's your tomato.
Thank you. Do you know our sales decreases from month to month? Do you know what happened to our tomatoes?
As far as I observe, boss, our tomatoes are quite small and not that fresh. I mean, like, within a week, it get rotten.
Then, what are we supposed to do?
Boss, I think we should refer this crop.
That's supposed to be my word. You take this to the scientists. Now. Now. Like, right now.
You're doing the experiment, right?
Yeah.
God, our new tomatoes! It has worked! The experiment has worked!
Boss, our tomatoes. The experiment has succeeded.
Yes, Marcia?
The tomatoes, it has grown even bigger and it can stay even longer.
Great job!